Hi everybody, I'm Maria. I'm a speech language pathologist. I consider myself a pediatric speech language pathologist because that's the majority of the population that I work with. Um, I am here to share with you tips and strategies to use when you decide to use books with your kiddos. So this video is targeted for parents and educators, or any therapist that is involved in a child's life. So when you guys are picking out a book for the baby or an infant or somebody who is very young, or even those kiddos who have a language delay, I really like using books that have these little tabs that open and close, because you guys can use communication temptation in where you hold it and then the kid can open it, but the child or the kid knows that there is something hiding behind there. They're gonna want to see it, so you hold it and you tell them like knock knock, and then work on like knock knock, open. Remember that if the child is not able to say open, he can use gestures or like sign language open. um, so once the child opens it, then he can say I see a cat, or just label it cat, meow. That meow that they say, or any other animal sound, it does count as a word. So there's different ones. And I also like using these. Some books come with different textures. All of these tabs have the same texture, but I really like the ones that have different textures as well, because now you're working on describing and introducing them to adjectives such as like smooth, soft, bumpy. So that's something to keep in mind for those little ones. I really like this one, and you could find them in like different stores. I found this one particularly in TJ Maxx. Not that I'm advertising for them or anything, just want to let you guys know. This one as well. This is another one that has different textures. I also like looking at books with big pictures, especially for the little ones, okay? So that's something else to keep in mind. You can see here it also has that texture. But this one, what's cool about it that I also like is that it makes sounds for each animal. And I really like that because now the child can imitate that sound, and you can also work on making animal movements, so like walking like a penguin, or making that sound, or labeling. So those are the things I like to keep in mind. The texture, see if it gives you some texture, sounds, and my favorite one, these little hidden these tabs that hide things. Some other books, they also have like animals that like pop out. I also like those as well, because it kind of surprises the kids and they're like, wow. So I really like that. Now I'm going to move on to strategies that you can use when you are reading a book with a kiddo, okay? So when you are reading a book, it's important that you let the child pick what book they're going to want to be reading. Giving the child two choices, or giving them that choice, is letting them communicate. So, oh, I want that one, or they could just point to it. Even by them just pointing to it, that's them communicating, then letting you know what they want to read. At the end of the day, your goal as a parent or as a therapist is to introduce them to that language, and to introduce them and give them that reason to communicate. So by you doing something that interests them, it motivates them, and they're going to be more engaged. So whenever you have the opportunity to let them pick, let them pick. If you're doing a theme activity, let's say it's fall, pick two books that are fall theme and just let them pick. So with that being said, for the little ones, so I'm gonna start from like babies. I'm gonna be using this little baby toy that I usually use in therapy. And I see a lot of parents putting their kids like this, and then they'll read to their kid like this, okay? So at least the kid is able to see the book. But let me tell you something that's a little bit better that you can do. It's better if you have a baby. If you put the baby on your lap, you can put it on your lap or on a pillow, and then you turn the book around and you open it and you face it towards the kid. So why is this good? This is good because now, I'm sorry, I fixed myself. Now, the kid or the baby is able to see your facial expressions. They are able to start understanding the facial expressions like mad or angry or happy. They're able to see that. And at the same time, you're working on that joint attention. So looking at an activity or looking at an object at the same time. And that, my friends, is a foundation for later language development. So you guys are working on a lot of things while you're just reading a book. So as the baby gets older, let's say you guys are going to be reading a book, you don't have to read each word that the book says. This is a simple book, so let me see if I could find one that's a little bit more, oh, right here, that has more words. So as you can see, this is pretty long, and not a lot of kids can sit there and pay attention to the whole book. It's just might be too long. But let me tell you, you do not have to read the whole thing. You can describe it. You can describe what's going on. Like, oh, there's a snowman. Snowman has a hat. Keeping it very simple, especially for those kiddos that are very young. Oh, lady, look at the girl opening door. And you can just describe the picture. Sometimes simple is best because the child is able to obtain more information. Look at this book. It also has those tabs so you guys can work on like open the door. Wow, I see mom. Wow, it's cold outside. Snow. Wow, boy is building what? I wonder. Let's see, boy. Open. Wow, it's a snowman. I see a bird. See, I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just pointing out and I'm just commenting. When you comment and you don't tell the kid, like, what's this, you're still exposing that child to the language. And at the same time, you're not putting that pressure on the child. So just imagine if somebody's asking you, hey, what is that? Hey, what is that? Hey, what is that? The child's not going to want to communicate with you. So it's better if you just comment throughout it. Maybe answer some simple questions to things that you know that the child is going to know the answer to, or that they're not that hard for the child. So the activity is more enjoyable at the same time. And if you are going to add something new, make sure you model it a couple of times. So for example, like the boy is building, wow, he's building a snowman. Look at him. Wow, the snow is so cold and he's building the snowman. And then later on you can say, hey, what is the boy doing? And then the child might say building, because now you already modeled the action that the boy is doing a couple times. You already labeled it for the kid. So that is something that you can do to keep it simple. Another strategy that you can do, my friends, is if the child is pointing at something, okay, just go with the lead. So if the child is pointing at this, you can talk about it. You can say, wow, yeah, it's so big and circular. Oh my, I wonder what it is. I think it's a snowman. And you can talk about it. Another funny thing that I really, really like to do is sabotage, and where you pretend that you don't know, you don't know what it is. So you can say like, this is a dog. And then the child might say, no, it's a snowman. Okay, so that's just an example of a situation in where you might sabotage it to make that child communicate with you. Another way that you can do it to make the child communicate with you, as I mentioned before, is if the child knows that this door opens when you're reading the book, is that you hold it and then have the child say, let me see, or open. Okay, so remember that you do not have to like read the whole book. You guys can keep it simple just with this scene. There's a lot of things that you guys can do, like, wow, look at the boy. The boy's in the living room, and I think he sees a snowman. Wow, I think like that snowman is so big, and he must be hot inside the house. Look at the boy. He's in the living room. I see a sofa, a big sofa. So I'm just modeling. I'm not even reading what's going on here. Um, if you do want to keep the story going and making it sense for the kid, you can simplify it. So the boy built a snowman. The snowman went inside the house. The boy is surprised to see the snowman. Now they're in another room. I think it's the boy's room. And the snowman is also there. Can you see the boy? Let's look for the boy. Where are you? Let's see what's gonna happen next. Next, they went to the kitchen, and I wonder what he's gonna do with all that paper. So there's different things that you guys can do. I just wanted to share with you some tips and tricks. I also provided this information in Spanish, so go and check out that video if you would like the information in Spanish, or if you know anybody who will find this beneficial but don't speak English. The information is also in Spanish. As a speech therapist, my goal is to provide to the community, and especially as a bilingual therapist, since I know that there's not a lot of bilingual speech therapists out there, is for me to reach out to the Hispanic community and educate them the best way that I can on ways that they can help out their kiddos with their language and speech and feeding and social skills. I hope you guys have a great day, and make sure you check out all the other videos that I have made for you guys. Bye. See you soon.